awareness, right? Tapping in. Salute world, salute. It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you again. All right, this is the one and only Master myself. We're gonna get started shortly. Y'all know what it is now. We gotta start it off right with the one and only Blood of Luna on the track. Salute, brother Arthur in the house. Salute, brother. Good to have you all. Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna get started shortly. Just continue to tap in, and then we'll go ahead and get started officially. Your health is your wealth. That's what we're talking about tonight. All right, it's gonna be a great mastermind. I'm getting yes. Nothing up to practice ain't no bad thing. Giving out the house, I think I had enough. As a man, I asked some day and night is passing it. Yeah, I even had enough. I ain't better slow, cause I'm cancer. Talking out the practice ain't no bad thing. I had enough. Giving out the house, I think I had enough. As a man, I asked some day and night is passing it. So in Mexico City, yeah, new bitty so cute, okay. I've been working hard, steady working towards, gotta go on mine, only moving forward. On the Texas time, gotta put it down. When I can't decide, come my peace of mind. This our only time, you won't need to mind. We like fine wine, can't leave your vine. So the top is where we climb, at the top is where we shine. To the top is where we climb. At the top is where we shine. Hey, people tell me what we want, it is only truth, like universal code. Now I'm going, don't forget it. We're going very slowly, never drifting on my focus in the moment. Yes, and I'm practice ain't no bad. Who's okay? Hey, moving out the house, I think I had enough. My ass up. Day and night is passing it. Good, even had enough. Now we back to slow, cause I'm gassing. Talking now, that this ain't no bad. Cause I'm packing up. Moving out the house, I think I had enough. So, day and night is passing up. Yeah, I even had enough. Now we back to slow. All right. Go ahead and add a title here. Your health is your wealth. Smooth. All right. What's up, IG? It's the one and only Master myself. We're here live, tapping in. All right. This is IMC TV. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. You know what I'm saying? We're going to stop the music real quick. Boom. All right. Smooth. There we go. All right. We in there. All right, perfect. Salute to everybody, man. Once again, it's the one and only Master myself. I'm here live, tapping on the IMC TV. This is a one-of-a-kind show, right? This is the Master's Table. This is a creation of mine for the last, 2.5 years, all right? So, every single Monday we gather together, we tap in, and essentially we mastermind, right? We talk about these, ideals and these concepts and so on and so forth that will help you in life, you know what I'm saying? When you learn how to apply it properly and essentially integrate it into the way that you move on a regular basis. All right. So we're gonna tap in. First and foremost, know and understand that everything that I do and say here is done under the banner of entertainment. All right. So don't take what I say serious. Number 2, this is for adults and adults only. All right. No kids, no children in the room. Number 3, wherever it is that you are, do not break the laws of the land you're tuning in from. All right. Number 4, this here production is for adults and adults only. All right. No kids, no children in the room. And as an adult, that means that you're responsible for your own actions. All right. And number 5, once again, I go by the name Master myself, and this here is the Master's Table, right? I'm going to treat you like a master and speak to you as such. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go through this procession today and essentially, elevate in conscious, elevate in spiritual experience and all of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, first and foremost, let me give, credit to AZD, right? Who's our mentor and the founder of IMC Nation, you know what I'm saying? So I say Jai Guru Dev to AZD, which means acknowledge, all the masters that come before you, in particular to AZD in particular, all right? This here is an IMC Nation production, IMC TV. It's a long time production, right? We've been at it literally every single month. So we started IMC TV back in the year 2023. It's getting ready to be 2024, right? Right now we're in December, right? So it's been a full 12 months that we've been tapping in and creating collectively. And, every single cycle, I see my evolution just through speaking, right? Coming here and talking to you, you know what I'm saying? So today, our specific conversation is about health, right? Now, I'm a long-time practitioner. When I say long-time practitioner of the HSD process, I was one of the first original men to tap in and begin to absorb this process that is called the HSD process. Now, when it was first released, it didn't have a name, it didn't have a full process. It wasn't like a written routine or nothing like that. It was just something that HSD was sharing with us. And it wasn't until we had the first initial beast camp that he was like, "Yo, y'all need to write this down. This is going to be the new way of life that I'm living." Right, meaning HSD. He was speaking like that, and essentially he was talking about the elements of the process in which I now, on a daily basis, me and men from all across the world are now living off of. You know what I'm saying? So where we're at right now is, there's a current beast camp that's going on. It's called Return of the Beast, right? Now, once again, this beast process, you know what I'm saying, is a process. It's a foundation for a way of living. You know what I'm saying? If I had to explain to somebody that didn't understand it, I would tell you that if you were to integrate the HSD process or the beasting process into your psyche, right, which means your mentality, that would put yourself in a different position in life where you could start to measure your growth and your intelligence and your ability to integrate, right, or begin to innovate, right, with the way that you live on a daily basis, right? For example, I just got done meditating before this, right? That's a very, very major piece of the process that I can for sure say that was not in measuring tool for me before I started to do transcendental meditation, which is the meditation practice that we do. But that's a piece of the process. You get what I'm saying? There's so many different aspects of what that looks like, and it plays out so many different ways, right? So where we're at in the teachings of the beast right now is, there's a very, very large emphasis on the nutrition, right? And something that I learned very early on is that the nutrition that we feed ourselves on a consistent basis is literally how we experience life. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, if you were to eat, let's say that you had a bag of hot Cheetos right now, right? I was in the strip club this weekend, and one of the shorties, you know what I'm saying, mentioned that, she was like, I'm either going to eat, she gave me her food options. She was like, these are the only things that are open when I get done. She was one of the hostesses or waitresses. And so we was just in conversation one night. She was like, yeah. So she was like, I'm either going to eat, a bag of hot Cheetos. I'm going to stop at Denny's. I'm going to go to Filiberto's or Taco Bell, right? Now, every single one of them options, you know what I'm saying, are extremely detrimental, right, to just at a basic level, very detrimental, meaning that they're not beneficial for you, and they're not beneficial for your stomach in particular. Like each one of those options, right, have elements within they have elements within the food that they're producing that will basically fuck your stomach up, right? Or you know what I'm saying? They will mess up the lining of your stomach, which is the protection within your stomach, right, within the gut. So I make mention of that because it's important to know that if you want to have any form of success, if you want to measure the growth in what you're experiencing on a daily basis, the way that you're going to do that is through paying attention to what you're consuming on a consistent basis, right? I want you to think about the last time. I'm going to think about it for myself right now also. When was the last time that you were quote unquote sick, right? Where you felt like you wasn't, you know what I'm saying, at your optimum thinking level, mentality, well, that's your thinking level, the optimum physical performance, right? Where you just wasn't the 100% you. If you think back to that time, think about the elements, right, that led up to you getting in a quote unquote sick, state of mind or sick condition, right, where your body was you wasn't feeling, your best and so on and so forth, right? Now, if you can think about that, once you think about the foods that you ate up and until that point, and then what happened after that, right? the moment that your body gets in a condition where it doesn't feel like it's not operating at its optimum. What is optimum means is its highest form of expression, right? If your body's not operating at the highest form of expression, you can directly correlate that to the foods, the nutrition, right, that you either missed out on, that you did not have applied into your diet, or the lack of, or the presence of, what I'm saying, that nutrition, the minerals, the essence, or to get scientific, it's like the amino acids, right? If you're getting these essential minerals that you need to be able if you're getting the essential minerals that you need to be able to fuel your body, your mind, your experience of life, your cells, right? Essentially what we're talking about, if you are able to do that, then you can begin to measure your growth or your progress in life on a different level, right? Because you can see how, if you eat I think we've all felt this feeling, you know what I'm saying? But like, think about, Thanksgiving was like probably 3 cycles ago, right? Think about how people feel the day after Thanksgiving, after they just indulge, you know what I'm saying? Or even the night of, you know what I'm saying? They indulge in so much foods and so on and so forth. They're going to have a different kind of experience, meaning that like from that moment that they eat all that food and so on and so forth, all at once, we all are familiar with that feeling of like what we black folks call is the itis. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to the point where you just feel like you ready to pass out. You're slower. You get this feeling that's like it's what we call food drunk, right? You start to get in this. Man, I don't know the specific scientific term for it, but essentially you just get in a state where you are now, almost floating, what I'm saying, in life, because you're not, you got so much food in your body that your body has to catch up. Your body has to begin to process and break down everything in which you just ingest into your system. And because it's a holiday, because there's so much food that's available, and because we have the mentality that we're going to run out of food or whatever the case may be, we force all this food as a result of somebody else telling us like, yo, this is supposed to be celebrated this way. Eat as much as you can, so on and so forth. And that became a ritual and a habit that millions of people, partake in every single the last Thursday of November. You know what I'm saying? And that's been happening for years. You know what I'm saying? It's been happening since I can remember, right? And so that's a whole world of social programming, right? But at that point in time, if you think about that, when you have all that food in your system, you are now negating your experience. You are now taking away from your experience because now your body has to put all this energy and effort into breaking down the things in which you ate, right? So at that point in time, you're not operating at your optimal. You're not operating at your highest level. What we want to do on a consistent basis is put our vessel, put our temple, your body, into the right state, right? To be able to absorb all the nutrients in which you eat on a consistent basis, right? So the focus has to shift from I'm going to eat because I'm hungry to I'm going to eat because I know that I want these nutrients from these foods. You know what I'm saying? If you begin to take on that perspective, you're going to see how truly wealthy you can be. You get what I'm saying? Because now you're aware of the things in which you're putting into your body. Not only are the things that you're putting into your body feeding your mind, the things in which you're putting into your body are allowing you to begin to transmute, right, the energy that you're absorbing from whatever it is that you're eating, right? And you transmute that and put that back out into the world, right? So it comes out in your philosophy. It comes out in the way that you speak, the way that you talk, the way that you move, right? The things in which you do on a consistent basis. All of this is evident, right, through the things in which you eat. It all comes out. What goes in must come out, right? It's one of the universal laws, if you will, right? As within, so without. As above, so below, right? That law of correspondence, it correlates to the same thing that we're talking about here, which is your health, right? So you cannot eat something that is detrimental to you and expect to have a certain amount of results, you know what I'm saying, in your world and in your experience, you know what I'm saying, that is beneficial for you, right? You cannot eat something that is detrimental and expect beneficial results. So if you want to, have a six pack, if you want to get in shape, you want to, lose this weight, you want to do that, and so on and so forth. But you got to really go back to the basics and figure out what is it that I'm eating on a consistent basis. Now, I will share with y'all, you know what I'm saying, because I'm a ranked member within IMC Nation, and I live on my own quote unquote process that I learned from AZD. I learned the foundation, the basics from AZD. And then I began to create on top of that my own ritual, my own process, my own routine, and so on and so forth, right? So a major piece of my process every single cycle is me every single time that I get the opportunity, one time every single cycle, I go for a 24-hour fast. At minimum, I fast for 24 hours, right? Because there's so many benefits, you know what I'm saying, to going through that process of shedding, the ingredients, you know what I'm saying, that you put into your body and essentially resetting yourself, you know what I'm saying? Just as we need to eat, quote unquote, to be able to live, you also need to not eat. You get what I'm saying? In order to operate at your optimal, right? Because what happens when you are fasting, what happens when you are detoxing yourself from the foods which you're eating, what's happening in that process is you are getting rid of all the things that don't need to be in your body. So it's vitally important that you take the time to separate, right, your eating habits. You get what I'm saying? And, as you clarify, you know what I'm saying, that's the door, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So just, y'all don't freak out. There's no machines in the background. As you as you make it more of a priority, you get what I'm saying, to there we go. All right. Blood Luna in the house. Salute, man. We tapped in with your song, you know what I'm saying? Next chapter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so as you are fine-tuning your process, you're fine-tuning the foods in which you're ingesting, putting into your body, you're becoming more aware of your relationship, right, to your external world, right? Meaning, like, if you eat a very heavy meal and then you go out into the world, you're going to be aware, yes, sir, you're going to be aware of the lack of mental clarity, if you will, right? When you go into an environment or a restaurant or wherever it is that you engage in life, right? You're going to be aware of this dynamic where you are less sharp, you're less expressive. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, your body's spending your energy breaking down the things in what you ate. This is vitally important because if you want to be wealthy, you want to be successful, you want to have this experience in life, whatever that may be, you got to know and understand that it's not going to happen on accident. No, you got to be intentional. You got to be dedicated and focused on what result do you really want, right? One of the things that I love to do is fast, because what happens during fasting is, my mentality stops all the external noise. You get what I'm saying? And what's happening is I'm aware of the internal process. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm aware of, this dynamic where, I'm not eating. So what am I doing instead, right? We don't know how much energy and time and effort we spend on food, like preparing food, going to the store to get food, you know what I'm saying? Spending our time and energy, ingesting the food. And then what kind of food is it that you're putting into your body, right? Now, a lot of people, I say probably 90% of people, you know what I'm saying, that are, it's just a random stat, you know what I'm saying? But I would say probably from my standpoint, you know what I'm saying, I would say 90% of people, at least in America, are consistently ingesting, foods that aren't any good for them. And they don't put, energy and effort into, advancing themselves, preparing their mind, right, to encounter whatever it is that they want to encounter in life. They just go down the street and go to the fast food restaurant. They go, maybe you go to Cane's, maybe you go to KFC, maybe you go to McDonald's, maybe you go to Burger King, whatever it is that you choose, right, to ingest into your body. Oftentimes, a lot of people are trapped in a certain cycle of life because they only eat certain foods. You get what I'm saying? You would be surprised what would happen to yourself the moment that you stop eating these fast foods, right? Or you stop eating these candies or anything with these chemicals, right? Like if you Yeah, I've talked about this on my personal YouTube channel, you know what I'm saying, several times. But if you are ingesting something that is if you're ingesting something, you're eating something that is like, you look on the ingredients on the back of the thing and what you're eating. And if there's something that's on there that you cannot pronounce or you don't know what it means, that's an indication that you need to either do some research as to what that is, or you need to just not eat that. You know what I'm saying? Because we oftentimes get caught up in the process of eating something that we don't even think to look at the ingredients, but it's all there. It's all evident. It's required that they put the ingredients of whatever it is that you're eating on there, on the label, somehow, some way. You get what I'm saying? And oftentimes, like, if you're eating something that you have no idea what is in it, like you go to a restaurant and you just, you go eat, let's say that you get penne pasta, you know what I'm saying, from this, Italian restaurant of some sort. Okay, cool. What is the ingredients, or what did they use to make the pasta? Like, that is something that is very, very detailed, and that's the way that I live. But I know a lot of people, that's a lot of work for a lot of people. So what would be the remedy? What would be the fix? You know what I'm saying? I think it's simply just going to the point of breaking down what it is that you're eating, right? And recognizing, like, okay, if I'm going to eat, this food, understanding with the elements of it, like, what is it and what does it do to me, right? Not only that, you can begin to become aware of the effects that it creates on your system. And this all, maybe it seems like it's unrelated, but it all correlates to the way that we get, what I'm saying, have and cultivate relationships. It, matters the way that you think, right? It matters the way it creates an effect on the way that you are processing life. You get what I'm saying? Like how your experience of life is, I can guarantee it's a direct correlation to the foods that you eat, the things that you drink, the nutrients that you soak up from the foods and the drinks and the everything that you put into your body. It's very, very important to be aware of these things, because if you're not aware, then you're unconscious of the things in which you're putting into your body, right? Now, so from where we are right now, brother Arthur, do you have any anything to tap in on, brother? You know what I'm saying? I know you over there grubbing, you know what I'm saying? But hold on, there we go. All right, cool. Dang, I don't know how I pinned your video on accident.
Well, so far I don't. So far I don't really have much to say about it.
Yeah,
I did notice I've made a conscious effort to change the way I eat and the
yeah,
times I eat as well. And
yeah.
I did notice the changing just on my level of, my level of what's it called? What's the word for it? Just my level of activeness.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
noticed that I'm not sleepy depending on what I eat during my lunch break, especially during my lunch breaks.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped eating more fatty foods, the fries and all that stuff,
Oh, right. Yeah,
and I was more alert.
yeah.
I don't feel like taking any more naps and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it,
That's,
yeah, I believe in
yeah,
the diet making an impact on the whole your entire
absolutely.
lifestyle. Yeah,
What's so important, brother, is that I can tell the things that what you're saying right now is it goes beyond just what you're saying right now. You're living from the experience, because you can look
right.
at you, see that you look healthy. You know what I'm saying? You look like you got nutrients in your body. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
with that, we can say that what it is that you're doing right now is definitely working. You know what I'm saying? But also, what you mentioned is when you're eating these fatty foods and whatnot, oftentimes it's gluten. Oftentimes makes you sleepy. You know what I'm saying? What is the gluten? Gluten is it's one of the effects of gluten is it begins to transmute or turn into glucose, right? And glucose is a type of sugar. You get what I'm saying? So with that added element of sugar, you know what I'm saying, in your system, that's what makes us sleepy. Because now, once again, what's making you sleepy is your body has to process all of that. You know what I'm saying? So what you said is very, very important, man. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? That you're aware of that, and especially if you're going into to work or service, as we call it. You'll be conscious of the things in which you're putting into your body, especially during the time where you're supposed to be using your mind, or your communication. It's so important, and it's something that, once again, goes unmeasured by a lot of people. But it's something that is a major. I mean, I've been on both sides. I've been on the side of just like now I just want to eat everything, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, I'm tired, I'm done with this day, especially when I'm going to work, whatever the case may be. And it's just like, man, I got that craving and so on and so forth. You get caught up in that, you will get lost, you know what I'm saying, in that situation or that circumstance, because you're now ingesting all this food and your body has to process all of that, like I was saying, right? And so you're going to be thinking different, slower, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have less means to want to communicate. You're going to want to put up with a whole lot less, you know what I'm saying? Because now your body is stressed. Now your body is trying to process all of this and at the same time still think, you know what I'm saying? So what you said is very, very important, man. How long you been eating the way that you've been eating, or you know, maybe
For
some
the
change?
past, I'll say for the past 4 months,
Nice.
it was gradual. I'll
Yeah.
still like slide every back and forth, but
Yeah.
for the most part, I try to eat more healthy, more grains, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And and honestly, I don't even work out as much as I used to,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't feel like I still feel lighter.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm more active. I play a lot of tennis, and that really helps too. But
Nice.
like I have the energy to actually go and play,
Good.
as opposed to eating some fries and stuff, and then just it's really changed a lot, honestly. And with just even self-confidence, just and the more you're aware about what you eat, you kind of notice how a lot of people are not eating right at all.
Yeah.
Like you
100%.
notice that, and it makes me also see those people that are more health conscious.
Yeah.
I kind of watch their lifestyle. I kind of watch what they're doing,
Yeah.
and it makes you want to do more of that because
Right.
you're seeing what level of life they're like at the
Yeah.
level at which they're operating.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying,
That's
yeah.
yeah. No, 100%. Thank you for that insight. You know, that's the beauty of what it is that we have within IMC Nation. We have brothers that are living in different what I'm saying, lifestyles, what I'm saying. But what you said was so important because it's so vital that each each of us see the correlation to our lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, with the
Right.
way that we eat. If you are aware of the correlationship to like when I eat like for example, I got fruits in the fridge right now, right? Raspberry, right? When I eat that raspberry, for example, I'm going to uh soak up all the nutrients. I'm going to feel, because I'm very aware of my vessel. I'm very sensitive to the things in which I put into my body, right? Because I also I went through about probably a 4 or 5 month process where I was cleansing myself, right, from all the processed foods that I was eating on a consistent basis. And then when I went through that, on the other side of that, you know what I'm saying, I began to see how I could build my muscles organically, right? Instead of, what I'm saying, because like I myself, I also don't ingest in any kind of meats, you know what I'm saying, any kind of dairy. And you know what I'm saying, I'm very, very particular of the things in which I do ingest into my body, right? And in more particular, I just begin more and more sharper as of recently. I say all that to say that, like, um, I'm able to see that, relationship to myself and that food. So a lot of people are not conscious of that. Like exactly what you were saying earlier. Like a lot of people are just eating because that's all they know. You know what I'm saying? And the idea, like I bring it up all the time in different situations and circumstances where I find myself in, where either I'm in service or I'm in just a deep conversation with somebody, or I'm just out and about in the world. When I end up in a conversation, oftentimes about diet and nutrition, and oftentimes I tell people that I fast, and they kind of look at me like, "You do what? Like, why?" You know what I'm saying? And so there's this puzzle, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out like what is it that what I know is like most people aren't aware of what happens to their body when they don't eat. You get what I'm saying? Like fasting in itself is so vital. Like I did a whole deep dive and study last cycle. I was really tapped into it, and I was understanding all the benefits of that come from fasting. Right? It's an ancient practice ultimately, but there's so many benefits because essentially what you're doing is, once again, you're giving your body time to process everything. Right? If you've never not eaten before, you're going to panic. You know what I'm saying? The moment you start to not eat, you know what I'm saying, you be like, damn, bro, like I gotta eat. Like I have no energy, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I feel stuck. Like I'm like, man, I just want to eat. Just and that feeling you got to get familiar with. You know what I'm saying? Like I have that feeling, man, so many different times, right? When I'm fasting, and every single time when I go past that feeling of, oh man, I'm just hungry and I just want to eat, I just want to do this and so on and so forth. I take that energy, I take that focus, I take all that. Yes, that's all it is energy, right? I take all that energy and I redirect it and I put it in this manner. And I say, you know what? Instead of me eating right now, let me focus on my task and whatnot. Let me focus on this journal, or let me focus on creating this. Let me focus on that. Like I use that energy to propel me into the next activity, and that's where a lot of people are missing their energy. They're missing their experience. You know what I'm saying? Because they're caught up in put so much energy into what am I going to eat? You know what I'm saying? Like how think about that. Like anytime you're in a relationship, whatever case may be, like how many times is it that you're in a conversation about what you're going to eat, you know what I'm saying? And when you're going to eat it, you know what I'm saying? And so on and so, like, that's a very, very deep, process. And it's, I mean, so much of what we do is surrounded by food. Like anytime we get around family, normally it's going to be, some kind of food, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Anytime that you're going to be, going out, quote unquote, with a female or females, whatever case may be, however your lifestyle is, you're going to be most likely partaking some kind of food because that's the experience that we're here to enjoy, of course. But once again, just understanding like there's a whole nother world of experience that's available to you when you begin to, separate eating and not eating, right? So that's why I take just one day. I take 24 hours. Now that's a gradual thing. I wouldn't say everybody needs to start with one day, but I would say that it would be beneficial if somebody just start with 6 hours. So maybe in the morning time you just don't eat, right? Say from the time that you wake up, say that you maybe wake up at 6 a.m. to 12, right? That's a great time to not eat because now you're going to give your body more things to focus on when it comes to your productivity, whatever it is that you do, you know what I'm saying? Or if you've been wanting to work on this project or do this and so on and so forth, it's a great opportunity to utilize that time and that energy, right? Where you would spend, either making breakfast or going to go get breakfast or going to go get this food, or whatever the case may be. Instead of utilizing that energy there, just redirect it and spend the next 6 hours focusing on what it is that you want. You get what I'm saying? And you'd be surprised how productive you can be. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised of what your experience will turn into. Because like I said, very few people actually understand, what it's like to not eat. You know what I'm saying? And to fast, if you will. So without going into all the details of exactly what that means, that's for me is an experience of that's what makes my experience so wealthy, so rich of experience. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy food so much more the day after I stop eating. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, man, I was looking forward to eating this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such a reward because I was disciplined. I stayed true to my process, and I did not fold. I did not give in to just wanting to eat this and eat that, and so on and so forth. Like I stuck true to that, and there's so much benefit, right, to seeing through your goals, your accomplishments, and whatnot. Like that's the part of being a warrior monk within IMC Nation. Like our discipline is our religion. You get what I'm saying? Like the details of our experience follow our discipline, right? So when I have when I wake up, you know what I'm saying, in the morning, like I literally I'm sitting on the ground right now, you know what I'm saying? But I live on the ground. You get what I'm saying? Like I do not have a bed in my cell, my room, you know what I'm saying? And I live like that on purpose. You get what I'm saying? But it's such a reward, you get what I'm saying, to get up from the ground and remember, like, yo, today's another day, and it's another day where this could be my last day. Like I always have that mentality, always had that philosophy in mind. So when I get up from the ground, I'm enjoying my experience because it's like I rose up again. You get what I'm saying? Like I never lived this day. You get what I'm saying? Before, like I never had this moment that we're in. You know what I'm saying? And co-creating together. So with that mentality, you approach life completely differently. You think about life completely different. You interact with life completely differently. And that's what we're here to create. And we create that for ourselves. And as we create that for ourselves, we help to create that with others. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, that's what I got to say on that. You know what I'm saying? Overall, brother Arthur, do you have anything else, you know what I'm saying, you want to add or tap in on, or any other
I do
insights?
have a I
Yeah.
do have a question. So
Yes,
you
sir.
know how they talk about they say too much of everything is bad, right?
Right, right.
So um let's say what advice would you give for a person that already has like a bunch of allergies to certain foods?
Yeah.
Now they're already limited in what they eat.
Right.
So let's say it's let's say healthy stuff. Let's say beans, for example.
Hmm.
You eating beans and it's healthy, right? So what if you keep eating the same thing over and over again? Doesn't that become overly excessive in the body? Especially because there was a time I turned 17 and
Yeah.
all of a sudden I couldn't eat any animal protein at all. They said I
Mm-hmm.
had excess protein in my body. So I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't eat. I became vegetarian for about 6 months, couldn't have any milk, no,
Yeah.
nothing at all.
Wow.
So, so when you're limited to just a certain group of foods or a
Right.
certain type of food, is that necessarily a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, great question, brother. So what I would say to that is, it comes down to really understanding what is being rejected. You know what I'm saying, with by your body. So, for example, if you like, they told you you had excess proteins in your body. Essentially, what that means is, that whatever it was that was going on within your body, um, you needed less of that protein that somebody told you, most likely, shit, not most likely, everything that we eat, you know what I'm saying, is because we was told that this does this and this does, like, the only reason why most people drink milk is because they believe that milk helps to build the calcium in their bones, which is a straight lie. You know what I'm saying? It actually helps to strip down, you know what I'm saying, the calcium and it takes away from the muscles, you know what I'm saying? So it does the direct
Right.
opposite. But in relationship to what you were saying about the proteins and whatnot, um, everybody's body is different. You know what I'm saying? So I operate with the intelligence and the understanding that each of us are our own doctors. You know what I'm saying? So you got to ultimately make the decision and know what's best for your temple and what's not. But if there was allergies or there was something that was you're not supposed to ingest, then I encourage everybody to do the research and essentially find out what is it that you do need, right, in terms of nutrients. Because yeah, you may be iron deficient. Some people are iron deficient. Some people are protein deficient. Some people are insulin deficient, right? Meaning that they don't have something to help break down the foods in which they have in their system. And wherever it is you find yourself on that scale, you have an opportunity to really, really, understand, right? Create what is understanding. Understanding is standing underneath this awareness, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So you having a greater level of awareness. Okay, this is what my body actually needs. This is why my body is in excess protein, or this is why I'm not supposed to ingest in these foods. Like most people, not most people. I've met several. I'm thinking about one of my old friends. She was gluten intolerant, right? And so she couldn't process no kind of gluten. Like it would make her sick. She would start throwing up and shit like that. So like it just wasn't an option. So everything that she ate was gluten free. Now, oftentimes, the foods that they make that are gluten free, quote unquote, are not the best for you. You know what I'm saying? So she would still have issues and so on and so forth. So what I would say with all of that is you got to go into the depth of the research and really find out, understand. That's the reason why people don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, because they don't want to do the research. Because it does take work. It takes work, takes energy, takes
Yes.
intelligence. You know what I'm saying? To be able to sort out all the details of that. But yeah, if you do that research, you do that work, and you understand, okay, this if somebody's gluten intolerant, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean for their body? What's happening in their body? If you understand that gluten intolerance simply is typically it's because your body's not able to break down that gluten. You know what I'm saying? Then essentially you're going to live in that kind of experience because you're going to live in the experience of you have to have everything gluten free because you don't do any kind of research. You know what I'm saying? You haven't done and understood the basics of how your body processes food and so on and so forth. But like I said, I mean that's quote unquote normal for people because they don't do the research, they don't do the work that actually matters, and that's essentially going and doing the research of like, okay, what does this mean? Why does my body function off of this? Like for people of the melanated folks, you know what I'm saying, people of color, you know what I'm saying, can ingest certain fruits. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, soursop is a great fruit. Dragon fruit, you know what I'm saying? Mangoes, things like that. Like these are very high, rich nutrient foods that we eat those in combination with the sunlight. You know what I'm saying? That gives you a certain, like, you basically start to operate at a higher frequency. You know what I'm saying? And you're no longer bogged down by you know these just heavier foods, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. So I don't know if that really answered the question, brother, but that was a great question. You know what
No,
I'm
you
saying?
did. That was helpful. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, man. So that's the message for today. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate the time. What we do at the end of these master table lectures and series and whatnot is a meditative moment. All right. So I'm gonna take the next 5 minutes here, and essentially what we're going to do is essentially just tap into the world within. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the timer. Let's set that up real quick. And all right, time starts. So wherever this you are, if you're in the proper position, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is that you are doing, if you have the opportunity, go ahead and close your eyes. Go ahead and do so, and we're just gonna tap into to our internal experience. We like to do this, or I like to do this. You know what I'm saying, at the master's table to just bring awareness to the world within, because one of the dominant philosophies here at the master's table is that the world within creates the world without. As within, so without, right? And so, with your eyes closed, just begin to become aware of your internal experience, being aware that there's nobody else that can access this inside world, this world that you have inside of you. When you close your eyes to the external world, you're the only one that can see what's going on inside. Whatever that inside looks like, that's where you create from. That's where you generate from. That's where everything generates from. All right. So as we're within this space, we acknowledge this space first and foremost by breathing in. So breathe in through your nose, take a deep breath. Feel the lungs, feel your body relax as you exhale. Breathe in again through the nose. Breathe in deeper, feel the lungs, and let it out. Getting more familiar with the space inside, relaxing, paying attention to the peace that's available. Take another deep breath in, this time hold it at the top, in through the nose. 3, 2, 1, relax, let it out. Relaxing even deeper, even more present, more aware of your inner space. For the next 3 minutes, we're going to enjoy our peace and enjoy the world within. Anything that's happening inside of you, you can make clear, you can create, you can generate. This is your space, it's your sacred space. Nobody else has access. Enjoy this place. Let's tap in. As we come to the final 15 seconds of this inner experience, just take a moment to appreciate yourself for spending time developing yourself from the inside out. Only you can access this inner space. This is where we create from. Begin to slowly wake up your body to the external world. Once again, before you open your eyes, just take a moment to thank yourself for taking the time to tap into the world within. All right? That is the meditative moment, all right, for the Master's Table. So, as always, man, it's always a pleasure and an honor to come to you here live from IFC Base 5 in Phoenix, Arizona, Tempe, Arizona in particular. And y'all can catch us every single Monday, you know what I'm saying, tapping in and leveling up, you know what I'm saying? This is what we do. We've been doing it for, man, like I said, 2.5 years, you know what I'm saying? So every single time, we get better and better, you know what I'm saying? All right, so salute. Appreciate you, Brother Arthur, for being on, you know what I'm saying? Great to have you on.
Brother.
And then, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Until next time, man. What we say in IFC Nation, be the best and fuck the rest. Knowledge of self.